Helen and I are here to have some fun chat with you today. So let me welcome you to the Patty Rose Show. And I am on a mission to inspire, motivate, and empower you to live your best life and to build the business of your dreams. I do believe that dreams come true, and that's because I have been fortunate enough to have real life dream come true moments, and I share those on the episodes in different ways and different topics. And I have shared them in previous episodes. Maybe you've seen a few. This is a completely interactive show. We love chatting with you. We love having your comments. So I hope if you're here, you will pop in a comment. Let me know you're here. Say hello. Tell me your name. Tell me where you're viewing from, because, you know, with Facebook the way it is, we can go live and we can have a worldwide conversation, which is just so cool. I am so excited today to be here with my very dear friend and colleague, Helen Raptoplous. Hi, Helen.
Hi. So excited to be here.
Yes, it's going to be great. This month, the topic for the Patty Rose Show has been wellness. And today, our very special guest, Helen, is going to help us navigate setting yourself up for success with routines, your AM routines and your PM routines. And we're going to talk about how you can plan a successful week by setting some things into routines. And she's a wealth of knowledge. You're going to love hearing her story. And I'm going to start off with a little bit, Helen. Would you tell us a little bit about how you got into the wellness industry and how you became a person who now coaches people in wellness?
That's a great question. I have been coaching for decades and decades, and definitely run the gamut because, like you, Patty, I am a multi-passionate entrepreneur with lots of different things that I love to do and that I'm interested in. I used to coach mostly on productivity and goal setting and efficiency for entrepreneurs. Definitely passionate about that. About a few years ago, I had my own health scare and learned a lot more about being healthy and fit, and it just became a passion of mine. It's a longer story than I think we have time for, but I've gone through a major transformation in just over a year. And because I'm passionate and excited about fitness and health more than anything, it just became natural that that's what I was talking about. That's what I want to help people with. That's what I want to share and talk about. And so it just became its own thing. I've created a course now called Becoming Fit and Fabulous. And I love working with my clients on health and fitness. And the bonus, and this is great for all entrepreneurs to know, if you actually teach and work on something that you love, it's extra accountability, right? You have to totally be in the game, or you're almost don't have the pedestal to turn around and talk and share with others. So it's been a real delight for me that this is my focus. It's focus for me, making myself a priority. And then now I can turn around and help other people with it, all while keep learning for myself. So I'm really enjoying it so much.
Oh my gosh. Well, 2 points. One is as a person who has been able to witness the transformation that you created in your own life by taking these steps toward this wellness change, it's very, very inspiring. It's anyone who really sees what you've been able to do for yourself in your life knows that you have the tools, that you have the knowledge and the experience. And I think it's really, really great. The other thing is totally, yes, and totally right there with you with practice what you preach. Because I think that if we are not practicing what we preach, there's a disconnect, and it's just harder to share it, right? It's harder to get out into the world and be that thing or that person or that version of yourself that you expect other people to be if you feel like you're not getting the thing done yourself.
Right. Totally. I think of it like, it's almost like I get paid to do the research and to listen to the podcast and to read the books and do the workout videos. It's like, this is all because I love it and I'm having fun, but it actually also gives to my clients because I'm always got, one finger on what's happening and listening to the latest and the greatest for me, but then I can turn around and share it. So it's really very, very cool. It's very cool.
Yeah, and I know that that's a really big part of entrepreneurship. It's a really big part of, staying consistent in anything in our lives that requires a push or, a little bit of willpower. I hate that word, but the idea that you have to keep getting yourself to go. Who are some of the greats or like some of your favorite go-tos for keeping your head in the game? Like, how do you keep your head in the game?
Oh gosh, that would be a whole episode by itself because I'm such a nerd on the podcast and the reading the books. I would say if you're looking and you like podcasts, one of the better ones that I really love, and again, there's dozens and dozens, it's called The Model Health Show. It's by Sean Stevens. He's written a couple amazing books, one about eating smarter, one about sleeping smarter. And what I love about his show is that it's functional medicine. It's just every aspect of like dealing with stress and sleeping better, but also nutrition, also like your movement. And he's got so many great insights and he's really cutting edge on so many things. So Sean Stevens, it's the Model Health Show. It's a podcast. I listen.
I'm going to put that up in a second.
Yeah, it's there's so many. Gosh, when I think about what would I share, I'm inspired
tell me
so
once again.
People.
Say the name once again.
The Model Health Show.
Model Health Show.
Yep. And it's Sean Stevens. And I have his book right here. I would have to grab it and leave the camera.
Did I say it right? Did I type it right? You see it on my screen?
No,
okay, that might be a different screen. That's okay. I have it on the screen. I think people on Facebook can probably see it.
Yeah. And I'm certainly happy to message and talk with people as well about that.
Yeah, I just checked the Facebook and you can see it. So that's good. And so that means we're live on Facebook, which is good.
Yay. That is good. Is it? Yeah.
And on a more general about keeping your head in the game, is it about, do you find that it's more about like the podcasts that you listen to, the books you read, or is it about like the self-talk? Like, how do you gauge? Oh.
Yeah,
you're right. This is a whole episode right here.
I know that's an excellent question. I really am plugged in to content, but that's my thing. That's what I'm passionate about. I mean, I talk to people who aren't interested as much in reading books or listening to podcasts, and they have other things they do for their downtime. But for me, that's like my downtime passion that feeds my soul anyway. And but on top of that, you asked an important part of the question for keeping myself engaged and plugged in. It has so much to do with your own personal mindset for each one of us. It's a mental game more than anything else. It's the self-talk. It's our identity. It's what we believe about ourselves. And again, that's like, it feels like that opens up a whole can of worms, but that is so important. I've learned that the hard way, and I've seen it really help transform some of my clients just in what they're thinking and how they believe and your identity about yourself and what you're trying to create, because what you believe is the experience of your life. And so if you can alter that and you're not happy with your life, altering your beliefs and your mindset can turn everything around. I mean, I'm so passionate about that.
Yeah, it's really so profound. And I'm going to say it like this. You know how when something happens that you know it's going to happen, you believe it'll happen, and every time it happens, you go, oh my gosh, this happened. Yes. And then you go, why am I surprised? It always happens this way. And it's almost always for me in a mindset capacity or a spiritual capacity where I'm connecting mind, body, right? Like really getting my heart in touch with everything that my brain tells me I'm supposed to be doing. And so when I've got that, that's the thing that really helps to move us forward. I think you're right. That's just such a huge part of it. And in that, I know that your practices and what you teach. Sorry, I didn't mean to say preach, but practice and preach
Yeah,
is
yeah.
teach.
I
Is
teach
that
sometimes.
to set yourself up for a winning week, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
what would you like to tell us a little bit about how you could set yourself up for a winning week, and what does that mean to you? And I'm gonna just pop this part in, like I think that would include starting your week off with the right mindset, right?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. It's a
Yes.
great question. So thank you for that. I love talking about planning a winning week. It's a foundational part of my program, which is becoming fit and fabulous. And what I tell my clients is you're going to go through your week anyway, right? You're going to have your Monday and your Tuesday and your Wednesday and your Thursday and your Friday. And you'll end up on Friday or over the weekend looking back and thinking, I meant to do this. I was going to do that. And you just kind of are going through the week with some ideas about what you'd like to do. But the idea of planning a winning week is taking time on Sunday or Monday morning and being very intentional about what winning the week would look like. And that's a deciding factor right there, is to get very clear what a winning week even looks like to you. Because for each person, it could be different. It could be making sure you go to bed at a certain time, or not logging onto social media after 6 o'clock, or holding a 60-second plank, or how many miles you're going to run. Everybody has a different goal, but planning a winning week means starting, being very intentional of what you're going to do. And then not only just that, but then looking at your calendar. When can you do that? What time, what effort, what day, what's the amount, what exact activity are you doing? And that's part of planning a winning week, is just to be very strategic and intentional. Intentional is a good word, because it really just represents that you're mindful and present, that you have a choice. And everybody has a goal to be healthy and fit at some point or another. And I think what stops people the most is they're not in alignment every day with doing the things that will get them the result. And so the alignment part is where attention comes in, and just being very methodical about, I have a choice here. I could go to happy hour, or I could go for a run. I could sit down and watch TV and, have a pizza, or I could practice this thing or that thing. So it's like having choices and being intentional. I feel like I just keep talking. Sorry.
No, I think it's great. And, the examples I think also are really helpful, because there are things that you share that I can completely put my own self into that moment where that situation might come up in life. So examples are such a great way to help people personalize
Yeah.
the activity of it, right? The meaning behind it, and how to make it work for them. Because you're right, it's everybody's unique and individual, and does have different goals. I know, for
Yeah.
example, when we are traveling and then when we come home, I almost always break down and get pizza. I have to have my New York pizza,
Yeah.
because we've been
Yeah.
away. I'm like, I really want New York pizza. I don't go for the bagels every time, but I definitely go for the pizza.
Well, my whole philosophy on the foods that you love is, I'm definitely not in a fitness realm of having people deprive themselves and go really strict. So the principle is, if you're at 80, 85% doing the right thing, making the healthy choice, like having, a smoothie over a bagel, you don't have to do that every day though, because if you love bagels, have bagels. I love pizza and tacos. Those are my favorites, and they're probably not the healthiest options, but as long as you're not doing it every day. So I love that you said that, because I want to encourage people to incorporate the things they like. That just can't be your consistent. That's your every now and then, and you can still enjoy it and savor it. Yeah, pizza sounds good now. Thanks, Patty.
Yeah, right. Like, let's go have pizza now. But
Yes.
that's exactly how you set yourself up for a win. That you give yourself allowances so that you don't have to break down, right?
Right. Right.
That's very, very cool. And I want to ask you, because I know part of setting up the week, you're very specific about integrating routines. And can you tell me a little bit about the way that you think is helpful for routines to come in to make wellness a priority?
Yeah, for me, routines are, I bookend my day with a morning routine and an evening routine. And for me personally, a routine really is the only time where I have control and I can be centered and I can be grounded. And if you can start your day, even if it's a very small window where you feel like you're in control, I tell you, that can make all the difference for the rest of your day, right? That's everything. And morning routines and evening routines can vary for everybody. Mine are very strict, and I'm always telling my clients that I like to share mine as an example, but certainly not as a comparison, because I may be overzealous. My routines take about 2 hours, and that's a lot. So depending on the season of your life, you might not have 2 hours. You might have 15 minutes, but it's just a way of setting up how you start your day and how you end your day. And before I even go into what that would look like, I think the most important is the evening routine, because your great day starts the night before. If you're going to have a great day tomorrow, it's going to start tonight. It's going to start with how you're thinking about your day, how you're thinking about yourself. And if you can take some time to wind down and reflect on your day or review on your day, as well as decide very clearly who you're going to be tomorrow and how you're going to show up and what you're going to do and what you're going to be thinking about. That's why an evening routine is so important. And it's a way to take back the craziness and the chaos of the day and just be centered. And examples of an evening routine for me include no technology after 8 o'clock, none at all, except for electricity. But even that, it's dim Edison bulbs or candles, but no social media, no phone. You want to talk late at night. You're a nighttime girl. And I'm like, man, I'm already shutting down. I'm hanging up
You're
my
like,
phone.
no, I'm in my nighttime routine. Talk to you tomorrow.
Yes. It's no technology. I have affirmations. I journal. I visualize. I'll sometimes do a meditation, but mostly my meditation's in the morning. There's a sleepy time tea. There's just kind of a looking at the next day's schedule, which for me is an old school paper calendar, because somebody caught me on that once and said, "You said no technology." I'm like, but it's a paper calendar, so I'll go check what's going on tomorrow so that I set my intention around how I'm going to show up and what I have to do. And it's just winding down. And again, it bookends your day if you do it in the morning and in the evening, and then anything goes between that. But this is my time, and it takes a lot of work and discipline and practice to create a space for yourself where you can just be in silence, where you can just get your heart rate down to a normal place where you're not go, 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 go. And the technology and the blue light, as we all have heard and known studies about that, is, that plays with your circadian rhythm, and then you're not sleeping as deeply and as fully as you could. Even though you might be exhausted and fall asleep, it's not the kind of restful sleep that regenerates your cells and makes you look younger and have more energy and, yeah, even lose weight. So sleeping is so important. So I really stack my activities before bedtime in my favor. I'll stop so you can ask questions. I was just going.
No, I love it. I love everything you're saying, and I know that technology before you go to bed is just not good. They even say, turn off anything that has the digital clock or the light from the cable box, like cover it, turn it off, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's some things that it's really hard to pull out of life because it's the way we live now. But there are things you can do to substitute. So maybe those things you can't get rid of, but like you said, you have a paper calendar, and maybe you just take the next days. If you're a digital person, take the next day and write it out on paper so that you can do the reflection and the planning without the technology.
Sure,
And
you could do that at the end of your workday instead of making that part of your nighttime routine. The main thing that I'm saying about routines all the time is that they're very customizable. They're not one size fits all. It's like taking the pieces that work for you and help you and leave the rest at the door. But if you like to plan out your day in advance, then make that part of the last 15 minutes of your workday where you just get really clear about what's coming, what you need to be prepared for, and then let that go. And then work is done. That's a good idea too.
So, Helen, what do you think would be, do you have any good tips for our viewers today? So, let's say you love the idea and you want to implement the AM and PM routines, and you feel like it's a little bit of a far reach. Do you have any actionable items that somebody could do, like right now? Maybe they could start with tonight or tomorrow morning.
Yeah, that's a great question. And again, it's customizable. There's no one size fits all. So I would start with, my first suggestion would be looking at how much time you're willing to set aside just for you, which is making yourself a priority. That can be so many activities. In fact, I encourage my clients to create a menu of every ritual or routine or idea that would be ideal. Like it's a menu, like you're going to a restaurant. I could take a bubble bath. I could have tea, I could knit, I could read, I just things that like kind of recharge your battery. Make a list of everything, and then also think realistically, how much time do I have? And again, everyone's in a different season of life. If you've got babies and little kids and you've got drop off times and you picking up from sports, like everything is like within reason. So you have to see what time you have available and take that time and make it your own. It could be 15 minutes, and that will do, and then work your way up, because you'll see the benefit of it, and then you'll want more time, and you might back up your routine a little bit so that maybe you're eating a little earlier, or you have less TV at night, or because you'll just see that, gosh, I just slept so much better, or I feel so much more grounded, and I don't feel crazy and my heart isn't beating. I don't know if that answers the question directly, but indirectly, start small. And there's so many things you could do that would just really kind of set you up where you're feeling grounded. That's the best word for it. You have control, because there's so many things in life we don't have any control over. So when you can grab hold of something and control it, do whatever you can to get there.
Yeah, and that's how you become empowered, right? That
Yeah.
control, that those little things that set you up to feel confident and control and grounded, so that you could go do the thing, go do something else. And I love what you're saying about this menu of possible items that you can choose from. Uh, and it in the entrepreneurial world, it kind of comes together with like brain dumping, right? You got all
Yeah.
these ideas, you have these things, brain dump them, get them all down on a piece of paper. Then you have a menu of choices, and you know that you're going to do from this time for 15 minutes every day. You're going to do something from that list and make it fit.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah. And it's
That's
an
really helpful.
experimentation as well. It's very important to realize that always, I'm telling my clients always, that life is a laboratory for you to experiment. There's not, you have to get it right, or you have to do this, or you have to do that. And so if you try something because you heard an interview, or because you read a book and someone said, I journal every night before I go to bed and it just helps me to clear my thoughts, you might not be interested in that. And you might be like, I'll try it. And you try it for a little bit and you say, oh my gosh, this is really helping me to sleep better, because now I got everything off my chest that I needed to. Or you'll do it for a little while and you say, I really just don't like this. I feel like I'm pushing myself and making myself. And you want it to be kind of natural. You want to enjoy your routines. They're not supposed to be something that you dread, or like, oh, darn, I have to go do this, or I have to go do my sit ups before I go to bed. Or, like you want to do things that recharge you. So experiment with the different things that could go on your menu. And there are certainly so many things, between just being quiet, being reading something inspirational before you go to bed has always been a really good one, where you're reading like a dedication, or you're doing a prayer, you have affirmations, but anything inspirational is great. And then just winding down naturally, like a child, like when you're getting put to bed, that you have a bath time, you brush your teeth. It's like, it's comforting, like you have a routine.
Yes, and what's really nice for fellow multi-passionates is if there's the menu that you can mix and match. It's like, I don't want to eat tuna every day.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where this fits in, right? I don't want the same dinner every night. Not going to journal every night, 7 days a week, but I might do journaling 2 nights a week or 3 nights a week, and then a bath, and then something. And because of the ability to pick and choose, a
Yeah.
multi-passionate person, somebody who likes to change things up, really
Well,
has.
I have a great tip
Yeah.
for that. If you're making your menu of all the ideas, then you can say my evening routine means I'm doing 3 things from my menu. It doesn't matter what or what order. And that way, because I do know people like you who don't really want to have a set commitment, don't want to say every Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I'm going to go for a walk. Like they want to be like, I don't know. I want to fly by the seat of my pants. So if you
What
have
am
a
I in the
menu,
mood for?
exactly. You'd be like, as long as you do 3 things, you had a successful evening routine. Lights out by a certain time, or no social media, or uh, affirmations, anything. There's like a whole bunch of things, but just do a minimum and set aside enough time to just feel like whatever you feel like in the moment, and not have to be all stringent and about this is what I do. And like it's a checklist and there's 8 things and this is when I start and this is when I end. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I want to fly by the seat of my pants and say, I just don't feel like doing that part of it, but I'm still winding down. I'm still taking time for me. And that's really the focus, is that you're making some time for you to wind down and get ready for a good night's sleep, because that matters so much.
Yes, it really, really does.
Yeah.
Sleep can change your mood and your energy level, and how quickly you snap at the other people in the household.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
So, Helen, I feel like we could talk about this for days. I mean, I just feel like this is a topic that you and I could just riff about for forever and ever. And I think that people will find such value in what you have to share. And I'm just so sure that they're going to want to find you after we finish this session and this talk. So, can you tell us where people can connect with you and how they can find you, and where they can learn more about you and your program?
Absolutely. I will. I want to share one more thing, just when we were talking about actionable,
Please.
because we're talking about so many things, and the whole focus here is on wellness, because that's your platform. And when it comes to health and wellness, with having planning a winning week, or having an AM routine or an evening routine, I think there's 3 components to keep in mind, and this is specifically for wellness, and that's your menu, your movement, and your mindset. And if you take those 3 components and find tasks or activities within your planning a winning week, or within your routines, that have to do with those 3 categories, then you will be focused on being healthier and being more fit. It's like what you're eating, what you're not eating, how you're going to move, when you're going to move. But it's also mindset, like you're recharging yourself. What are you listening to? How do you encourage yourself? Where do you find empowerment when you're not with Patty Rose? Like all of those things are the different pieces that I think are really important. And so there's that way it narrows it down, because there's just so many things to focus on. But those are the 3 major components of living a healthier lifestyle, in my opinion. Where you can find me, it's just great because this is Facebook Live. So here I am talking. I'm sure I'll leave comments, and I'm always leaving comments on your show because I'm on every single show. I love what you have to share. So
Oh, thank
be
you.
friends with me. That sounds so funny. Like I'm in elementary school. Be my friend, and
Let's be
we can
friends.
chat. Yeah, we can chat. I have a website. It's Aim for Ideal. But more than anything, it's just best to connect with me on Facebook, where we can talk and get to know each other. And I have my program is called Becoming Fit and Fabulous. Of course, if you're interested in that, hit me up as well. There's private message, or on my wall, or on Patty's wall.
Nope. There we go. I got your website up on the screen now, aimforideal.com. And I love that you invite people to be your friend, because that's how you are, Helen. That's who you are. It's so lovely. And that's why everyone who ever meets you or works with you always just falls in love with you. And
Oh, thank you.
I am one of them. So
Thank you. Thank you so much.
thank you for being on the Patty Rose Show. This has been such a great great conversation. I really appreciate your time and your tips on wellness. I can't wait to continue to share what you're doing with our viewers, and what you're doing and how they can be more involved with you. So I'll be
Thank you.
sure to pop your links into the comments after the show.
Absolutely. And anyone has any questions, or I was rambling and I don't know what I said, but want some more detail or want some more examples, I am happy. I have so much ideas and so much information that sometimes it just comes across like I'm spitting out a whole bunch of weirdness. But if you have any questions, I'm happy to interact with you and get you some resources or answer your questions more clearly when I can think and not feel the pressure of being on a live.
Oh my God, we're live! Listen, there was nothing weird or incoherent about what you shared. Everything was sensible and inspiring and motivating and empowering. You were right spot on and loved it. Loved all of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is kind of like when we're on the phone and we can't say goodbye.
I know. You say goodbye first. No, you say goodbye first.
No, you say goodbye first. All right.
Well, you have the control.
Yeah, it's going to be up to me. That's a great another pressure, right? Like it's up to me. All right. Well, I'm going to say thank you, everyone, for being here and enjoying the conversation with Helen Raptoplous from aimforideal.com. Super, super happy to have you here tonight, and thank you for watching the Patty Rose Show. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.